Zambula Minak, and I extend to you on behalf of my government and the people of Fiji our warmest greetings. Let me begin by thanking the chair of our group, Your Excellency, for convening this important interactive dialogue and for the opportunity to discuss the two important themes that you have outlined for us today. On the first theme, Fiji recognizes that the Addis Ababa Action Agenda provides a global framework for financing sustainable development and is an integral part of the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. It provides for concrete policies and actions and reaffirms a strong political commitment to creating a proper enabling environment for sustainable development. Full international cooperation would be absolutely necessary to implement the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. And international development cooperation, especially North-South cooperation, remains a fundamental catalyst to sustainable economic growth. Developed countries must therefore urgently fulfill their unmet official development assistance, the ODA commitments. We are pleased to see the increasing recognition of the central role of tax systems in development, and we are deeply concerned over illicit financial flows and related tax avoidance and evasion, corruption and money laundering. We are attempting to combat this forcefully in Fiji through legislation and agreements with other nations, but the process is long and arduous, and enforcement requires training and resources. We fully support the elimination of safe havens that create incentives for the transfer abroad of stolen assets, criminal gains and illicit funds of all kinds. Funds that are legitimately owed to governments in taxes or that could be used for development are being diverted offshore at the expense of our people, and it must stop. We must continue to increase and intensify international tax cooperation and combating illicit financial flows in order to mobilize domestic resources for inclusive and sustainable development. We also must address the imbalances, discrimination, and inequities of the global trading system, including the need for urgent correction and prevention of trade restrictions and distortions in world agricultural markets. By striking the right balance, we will allow developing countries to compete more equitably in global trade. And that is all we ask for. Finally, Fiji recognizes the important contribution that private investment must make to sustainable development, particularly in infrastructure. Infrastructure, Your Excellency, is a powerful driver of economic growth and development. In most cases, developing countries are the most affected by a lack of sustainable and resilient infrastructure, and they face serious financing challenges resulting in a wider global infrastructure gap. The multilateral developments are critical if we have to bridge this gap. Chair, on the second theme, the world is facing many challenges that demand our attention and collective action. And it is gratifying to know that the founding mission of the G77 is as valid as ever. And this is why we eagerly join in congratulating the group in commemorating the 50th anniversary of the Charter of Algiers, which set forth the group's strategic vision and objectives. As we gather here in New York, millions of people are suffering from climate-related impacts or living through disaster. Beyond the human cost, the damage to infrastructure, schools, business, agriculture and tourism, we must recognize that climate change is the most challenging issue of our time. So it is clear that it is indispensable to incorporate disaster risk reduction into global and national development strategies. The international community must raise our ambition as we address climate change to avoid more frequent and more intense weather events. This will erode our development gains, undermining and delaying the achievement of the goals under the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. Climate action is urgent, and strategies must take into account the specific needs and circumstances of developing countries, especially those that are particularly vulnerable. As incoming president of the UN Climate Conference, or COP23, Fiji will be looking to this group for support. Please allow me to quickly outline key priorities for Fiji's presidency of COP23 this year. One, showcasing best practice for transformative climate action and enhanced ambition. We are grateful for our close partnership with the government of Morocco and welcome and look forward to a successful co-leadership with COP24 Polish President next year. Second, we are helping to build and mobilize a grand coalition of climate action leadership at every level of government, the private sector, civil society, and ordinary citizens around the globe. These two facilities will help to showcase and share proven and emerging best practices for transformative action towards the Paris 1.5 degrees Celsius goal, because they will extend our knowledge of what is possible. This would spur nations to adopt more ambitious NDCs after 2018. Number three, doing our part to make the Paris Agreement fully operational. Much like the Lima COP, outcomes were crucial in positioning the Paris COP for success. The Fijian COP outcomes will be crucial in positioning COP24 in Poland for success, when the detailed implementation guidelines are due to be adopted. Ensuring that benefits of action are shared with those who are traditionally relatively marginalized. By this, we intend to adopt the first gender action plan and operationalize the gender and local communities and indigenous peoples platform. Five, taking care of the vulnerable. Through our focus on adaptation and resilience and the grid loss and damage mechanisms, we want to see clear progress and replenishing the adaptation fund and providing a pathway for the adaptation fund to serve the Paris Agreement, as well as the launching of the clearinghouse for risk transfer under the Warsaw International Mechanism. Number six, strengthening the link between ocean health and climate action. As the first small island state to hold this role, we are keen to develop a pathway through 2020 that strengthens the ocean-climate linkage. Chair, once again, let me reiterate that Fiji will be doing all it can to ensuring the views of this group will be heard, and I will be counting on all your support for the success of COP23. Thank you, and God bless you all.